Hello, my creative friends. I'm Heather North from heatherscreativeblessings.com. It's the 17th of the month, so it's time for another Calling All Sistahs card. I have here a piece of Basil Marshmallow cardstock, and I'm taking 3 of my Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers in pink and 1 in purple, and I'm just scribbling it across my paper and then taking a squirt bottle filled with water and spritzing it down and just letting the colors move and flow wherever they want to. You could just set this aside to dry, but I am impatient, so I pulled out my heat gun and I'm just going to dry it with my heat tool. Even with just a little bit of purple that I added, it was a very dominant color. So I'm going to pull in another pink again and just fill in a few spots. It's still really watery, so I'll move the water around to get it flowing, except for that one spot, and I'll just pull in my spritzer bottle and get that going. If you're unfamiliar with Calling All Sistahs, it's a campaign started by Michelle Gross of Casual Friday Stamps for breast cancer awareness, reminding us on the 17th of every month to do our monthly self-exams. Okay, here is my dried piece. I die cut it with a stitched rectangle die from Little Inker Designs. And now I have another piece of Basil cardstock that measures 3 7/8 inches by 5 1/8 inch. That's just 1/8 of an inch larger than that die cut piece. And I am taking my ink. I chose green because today is St. Patrick's Day, so I wanted to add a little touch of green. And I'm just swiping it down the edges of my card. This is called Ocean Drive from W+9. And now I've got my stamp set. It's from the Calling All Sistahs, Casual Fridays. And I really wanted the sentiment to be the star of this card. And that's why I chose the background that I did. I wanted it to make just a bold impact. The sentiment says, "Cancer is not contagious, but you can catch it early." And that is the entire reasoning behind reminding us to do our monthly self-exams. The earlier the cancer is detected, the more likely we can get the cure. So what I've done here is I've taken my deactivator tool and put it all over that cardstock just to make sure there's no static for the embossing powder to cling to, and also to make sure that my card's nice and dry. Then I inked it up with Versamark, and then used liquid platinum embossing powder. It's by Ranger. And then I'm heat setting it to melt that embossing powder with my heat gun. And I'll layer it on that green piece. You can see as the ink dries, it lightens and you get kind of a different lighter shade. I'm going to use my stamp runner to adhere my layers together. You can use your favorite adhesive. Liquid glue is nice because it gives you time to position your paper and also to get it nice and centered. And then I'll adhere it to a standard card base. It's a Basil Marshmallow again. 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, folded at 5 1/2. My background's a little bit dark, so the sentiment doesn't pop as much as I wanted it to. I could have sprayed it with some more water, but since I'm using Basil Marshmallow cardstock instead of watercolor cardstock, it doesn't hold quite as much water. So what I did was I took just a wet paintbrush, that's just water there, and I went over the sentiment with the water, and then I used a paper towel to pull up some of the ink. And as it dries, it will lighten even a little bit more. Now I'm going to add some sequins. I thought about using these, I don't know what they're called, like transparent or hologram sequins, because I've got pink and yellow and green, but I ended up going back to my standard sparkling clear. These are from Pretty Pink Posh, and I just pulled out her 3 different sizes and sprinkled them over my card. I'm going to adhere them with Ranger Multi Matte Medium. And that completes my card for today. I will have pictures up on my blog as well as supply list and a link to the Casual Fridays Calling All Sistahs campaign. Please do your self-exam today or sometime this week because early detection really is key. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like my video, be sure and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more. I hope you find some time today to get creative. Bye!